No, it took them 2 hours. It took me 5 minutes.
Well, they did a good job.
To catch Sai.
When I came in, she was.
It took them 2 hours to mess with, and they finally gave up. And I walked right up to her and caught her.
She wasn't a threat to me or to anybody.
We've had them for about a year.
Right.
And
They look
they've
so
gotten
much better.
They've calmed down and.
I mean, when we first brought them here that first night, they ran around the pasture the whole time. And their hooves were really long, and they were just running. They were scared. But they calmed down. They calmed down for a few days.
Girl.
Yeah, she said, I go sleep now.
Yeah, she said, I like this.
This feels pretty
feels
good.
You should.
Getting rid of the pain. That's what
Oh, yeah.
Did you do my hip next? Yeah.
He's the head of having 1,500 Motrin.
That's what I felt like after I watched him do Sailor.
It's too bad if you're allergic to it, yeah.
And Sailor was like,
Well, you know what endorphins are? They're,
Yeah, I do. I'm an RN, so I know, yeah.
you know, it's morphine, basically. So what the acupuncture does, I don't know if you knew this, but let me tell you what the via is for the endorphins. There's nodules in the skin in different areas, which are the acupuncture points.
Right.
When you palpate them and they're sore, they're active points that will show you, depending on what meridian is affected, whether there's an organ that is involved that is not working right, or whether there is an apparatus like the locomotive apparatus that is not working appropriately. So in this case, I'm palpating bladder points from the bladder meridian that are affecting directly the dorsolateral syndrome. When I touch the point, I put pressure and there's pain, but the pain releases endorphins. When I put the needle and twist it clockwise, there is an irritation, there is an endorphin release. When I put B12, which irritates the muscle, that irritation lasts about 3 to 4 weeks, which the needle will last you only 72 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm putting B12. Now, having said that, that endorphin release is local and remote. It will travel, that endorphin will travel through the nerve axons all the way up to the base of the medulla.
Okay.
The ventral aces of the medulla have the morphine receptors.
Okay.
Receptors for the drug morphine, but the endorphins have the same characteristic.
Attachment, yeah.
So they interfere with this morphine receptors. They block the sensitivity, basically for the medulla to take the sensation of pain to the brain. So the brain doesn't know this is hurting.
Right.
That's what's happening right now. So because she doesn't hurt, now you come in and do the exercise, and the muscle comes up on exercise, which before you could even achieve because you were so sore. So that is taking the pain away. But if you didn't do the proper alignment, as soon as you lose the effect, the pain will come back, and you would have worked this force for days on a misalignment, which will hurt even more. So the idea is to do the two things at the same time. If you couldn't do it just with the chiropractic adjustment, you have to do it first with acupuncture to release the pain. And this is a deep structure that's damaged. The sacroiliac is a very deep structure. You just can't adjust it. I can't adjust the sacroiliac, so I have to do acupuncture on the sacroiliac area, on the opposite diagonal, and then do the adjustment. But once you finish the whole thing, there shouldn't be a reason why, when the pain disappears, she would have a huge amount of pain. She might have some residual pain, it might need to be treated, but it would be less than 50% what it was originally. You might catch it a second time, and by the third time you might not need to do acupuncture, you might need just the adjustment, or nothing. And you will tell, because the loin is going to grow, which means it's functioning, which means it's normal, it's physiological. In spite of the bone being low, the muscle will cover up for it, and you will have to be right. When she goes off again, then you repeat the treatment, as needed. So it's not, nobody can say it's going to last 31.5 days and I have to come back every, I don't know how long it's going to last. It's going to last between 3 and 4 weeks, for the most part, on the average. I don't know how much the alignment is going to last because it really varies with the terrain, with the kind of exercise you do, with how bad the case was to start with. But for the most part, all of this is going to change after you do the first treatment. Very positive. And that's the way it is. It's very simple, actually.
Yeah, I know.
So I,
But it's hard to find an acupuncturist and a chiropractor in the same practice. It really is, for people.
right.
Shirley only does the acupuncture.
I would have been very happy to work with a chiropractor and not have to do it and do only acupuncture. But I had to do the chiropractic all of it
Together.
because nobody wanted to. I mean, when I go to one place, I need to do the two things at the same time. In order to time somebody to come with me, I had such a hard time.
Yeah.
I just gave up. I just started doing
Both
everything I could in
yourself.
chiropractics until I got good at it.
Right.
Because the effect is huge when you do
I can see.
these
Yeah.
two things together.
Mhm.
And is really not enough if you don't do the two things
I
together.
know, I understand. I totally, from my perspective, I understand.
Yeah. All right.
What are you gonna do with that boat, Donna? You,
This is
You
gonna
have to make
catch her
it
by
easy.
surprise.
He's supposed to
keep
fix
moving
it
it
the
around.
last,
See this?
the last 18
Here you have your
years he's been
fifth
meaning to fix
thoracic
it.
What needs to be fixed?
Oh, the seats are all.
Everything.
T5 out. T4 out. That's in front of the withers.
It's funny that Grant would have liked to see this. Maybe Andrew can show him the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make you guys a copy of this.
Because it is really cool. Isn't he a nice man? He is.
See, now when he did that to Sailor, Sailor would jump. He was in pain.
Yeah.
So right there.
See, you have pain in the T16 to T17 right here.
How's the big one, girl?
Did you see the reaction?
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I used to ride. We'd go every Saturday
Okay,
night.
here
We
you
could
have
afford it.
pain on the fifth
You
lumbar.
could never have a horse, though. My
First
grandpa had
sacrum.
horses when I was really little, but they were farm horses. They were work horses. They were plow horses. They were old, you know.
Second sacrum. No, she shouldn't be too worried anymore because the pain is gone.